Today's episode is brought to you with the help of our sponsor.
Dog butter is healthy peanut butter for your dog with minimal ingredients and no additives. None of the harmful ingredients that could be found in human peanut butter. We have supplements inside some of our formulas, such as a joint formula, probiotics, pumpkin for digestion. Every purchase supports rescue dogs. We donate a portion of our sales every month to different dog rescues across the country. Dog butter by Paw Power Nutrition.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pitbulls, Parolees, and a Producer. My name is Billy Cooper. I'm the executive producer and showrunner for Pitbulls and Parolees. I am joined, as always, by Ms. Tia Torres, owner-operator of Villalobos Rescue Center, and a longtime reluctant participant of Pitbulls and Parolees.
Makes me sound so bad.
Well, we went over a whole bunch of other things. Do you want me to call you something else?
No, it's fine. I'll own it.
I'm never going to refer to you as star.
Yes, please.
Lead talent. We tried lead talent for a while, and you weren't happy there.
No.
Well, maybe I'll stop dropping reluctant.
I don't know. It's okay. You can call me reluctant. I am reluctant.
Kidnapping victim.
Yes. Yes.
Sure. Okay. Today we are talking about season 3, episode 10. This is your spoiler warning. So for all of you who have not seen season 3, episode 10, you can head over to Discovery Plus and watch it and come on back. We also have a sponsor. Our sponsor is, as you know, Paw Power Nutrition, and they sell their dog butter. We are actually joined today by the owners and founders, Eric and Christine. Guys, thanks for joining us. Good to see you again. We are very proud to have you as our sponsor. So how are things going? I mean, I know we're now on our second half of season 3. The first half, when we announced you guys as our sponsor, gave you the promo code and everyone started buying stuff. I know, Tia, you've gotten some supporters sending dog butter directly to Villalobos to use, right?
Well, now I just thought about something. Now that I've given you access to our Facebook pages, you can start promoting them more.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't tell anybody. I'm supposed to.
That would be cool.
No, I know.
No, because all the weight falls on me, and I'm the one that has to kind of oversee everything. So
yes. So I will do that. If you're watching this episode and you've seen it because we posted it on Facebook, there will also be the promo code on Facebook about the dog butter. Mm-hmm. All 4 flavors. Cool.
Okay, so yesterday when we were recording,
yes,
we made Billy Cooper say all 4 of your flavors 3 times fast.
Okay.
And he did it.
So, all right, you guys do it. Okay, it's your company. You go 3 times quick. Go, hit them.
All 4 flavors. All 4 flavors. All 4.
No,
you gotta say the flavor. Okay, she's blonde.
Yes.
She had a blonde moment, and the blonde in the room is laughing. The blonde in the room is laughing over here. Is that what you would have done, Dana? She said yes. She would have done the same thing.
Yeah. All right. So all 4 of the flavors, starting original. Go.
Original pumpkin puppers, pro and prebiotic, and blueberry.
No.
Original pumpkin puppers, blue biotic, berry flexible.
3 times fast.
And that's
go.
funny because I named 3 of them.
Yeah.
Eric, 3 times fast. Go. I had to do it yesterday.
Original pumpkin puppers, berry flexible, blue biotic. Original pumpkin puppers, berry flexible, blue biotic. Original pumpkin puppers, berry flexible, blue biotic.
Good.
Well done.
Yep.
Nicely done, sir.
Yep.
I live this stuff, man.
I know. And actually, you guys are here today because you are introducing your new product, which I have right here. Here, Tia, have a look. Cool. So tell us about the dog health supplements, right? It's a supplement you put on the food.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's the first in our, we're going to launch other standalone supplements, but that's the first one. This one is a really high quality, human grade omega-3 fish oil. And we've used sustainably sourced fish from Iceland that are the highest percentage of EPA and DHA.
Viking
those
fish.
Those are the two active ingredients in fish oils, the EPA and DHA. And these fish have the highest percentage of those.
Yep. And it promotes what? I mean, I know in humans it promotes what is it? I take fish oil every morning. I don't even know what my wife tells me to take it. I don't know what it's for.
It's good for you, Billy.
It's good, I know, but like it does something. What does it do? Tell me what it does.
Yeah, for dogs, very good for their skin and coat.
Me too.
That's probably the main benefit that people.
I have a
see.
dog that's going through a yeast thing for some reason. His whole body's all of a sudden got yeast,
Oh.
Augie. So maybe I'll try this.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
It's great for their joints. It helps lower inflammation. It's good for their heart, brain development, eye development, and immune system.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So guys, how are sales going? How's it going? How's the response been? What's
Overall, very good. As we told you at the beginning, we're a small company. We don't have any investors or financing. We bootstrapped this whole thing, but every month we've grown. We're not, gangbusters yet, but every month has been better than the prior month. So
That's great.
It's happening.
That's amazing. That's all we can hope for, right?
Yes. And, every month we make a donation to a different rescue. So the more sales we make, the more we can donate each month to rescues.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Okay.
And for everybody at home, just a reminder, Eric, what's the website?
PawPowerNutrition.com.
And our promo code VRC10, 10% off your first order.
Correct.
Yeah.
Actually, they can use that
every
for
time.
multiple orders. If they
Oh,
want.
fantastic. And like we said, if you don't want to get it for your dog or you don't have a dog and you want to donate some, you can purchase it, use the
We
promo code,
use
send it
it.
right to Villalobos.
We use it. Oh,
Yeah.
boy, we use it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
guys, thank you so much for coming on again. We love it. Big fans. Obviously, hopefully you'll stick around. We're going to start season 4 soon. We're almost through season 3. Maybe you guys would come back and join us again.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes,
Just one
please.
question. If I wanted to visit Tia, is that something I could reach out to you guys for?
Visit me personally or visit the rescue?
The rescue.
Oh yeah, in New Orleans we have we allow volunteers to come in every day. We don't do tours anymore, but if you come in and you can walk dogs on Saturdays. So we have a dog walking program.
Okay.
So Saturday might be a good
Okay.
thing, and you go to the New Orleans location and you can hang out with dogs and walk dogs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get to see. Tia is not a stop on the tour, guys. Sorry.
No, I live way in the boondocks for a reason.
What? We were going to sleep over Tia's house. Man.
Yeah, no,
Well,
that
yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
I live
Tia
way.
doesn't want to be bothered entertaining.
Well, my dogs won't allow it, unfortunately. Well, actually, fortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Fortunate for you. Yes,
Yeah.
dogs, no dogs.
Yeah.
They don't
excuse.
they don't
Yeah,
want
a lot of people-
nobody in the house.
Everyone has the no dogs allowed sign. Tia has no humans allowed.
Yeah, it's pretty rough if you try to come in my house. They are known. You can hear my dogs
we do understand.
from across the lake. You can hear my dogs.
And the one thing I will say, if you don't you have to register if you want to volunteer, right, on the website?
Yeah. If you go to our website, there's a volunteer tab, and it'll just tell you where to email. And then you just say, hey, this is when I want to come. And you can come there on a Saturday and hang out with dogs and go inside and see things.
Yeah.
I would recommend waiting till after summer because it is brutally hot.
Oh, forget
She
it.
doesn't like the heat. I like the heat.
I don't
Oh,
like
yeah.
the heat. I've
Yeah.
been working in the heat for months consecutively now.
Yeah.
And when I was working in the rescue,
Yeah. It's,
constantly, it was brutal in the summer. Poor
Yeah.
dogs had to constantly
Yeah.
spray them down.
it's rough.
I get it.
It's rough. So
Yes.
yes, I would
I know.
recommend till after hurricane season's over.
As
so.
well as yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a 3-week window where New Orleans is not. It's not a hurricane season. It's not hot. It's not humid. It's like sometime in March, right?
Yeah, we have great weather. I love our weather.
Yeah.
I love our weather.
Anyway. All right. Well, guys, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you guys
Thank you.
soon. And don't forget, PawPowerNutrition.com, dog butter, and the dog health. Yeah, there you go. It's on
Yep.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it,
I'm gonna put it right here. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.
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 Okay, so that was that. Paw Pound Nutrition. So guys, yeah, please, support them. They support us. It's great. We love it. Okay, so back to the episode. So this episode 10, is the title of the episode is Path of Destruction. Originally aired in January 28th of 2012. So short description. This time I couldn't find the long description in my old emails. Sorry.
Okay.
So Tia and Tanya go to Alabama to help a dog rescue facility in the aftermath of a tornado, and Mariah supervises her first puppy adoption for a young couple at Villalobos.
Okay.
So the featured stories in this episode, obviously the Tuscaloosa Canine Camp destruction. You got you and Tanya going to visit. Mariah actually has a kind of I don't know if you remember this, but she came down hard on the Parolees because we were filming when you guys were gone. Joker, the legendary Joker, got out on them. Mariah yells at all the Parolees because the
Clips.
The clips off the gates. Everybody kept doing it. And then the puppy adoption, little Philip, that came at the beginning of season 3 from Mondo. Ultimately, at the end of the season, went out to a very lovely couple
Right.
who insider tip, we did give this away at some point in the later season. The adopters was Ryan, who was, remember, one of our ACs in the early goings of the show. He would work us on the crew. He was one of the first crew guys to adopt a dog on the show, which is kind of cool.
Oh my gosh, look at this guy.
When I picked Philip up, I just felt this warmth. He's just such a sweet puppy and so warm and cuddly. And meeting Philip just felt like we had an instant soul connection.
He's a very well-behaved puppy and sleeps through the night most of the time. See, look at that.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
I don't remember.
Well, you didn't do the adoption.
I know, but I guess I remember Philip, but I don't remember Ryan.
Well,
Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, sorry, Ryan. Okay. Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Tuscaloosa Canine Camp. Like, you know, what do you remember about Tuscaloosa Canine Camp, going to Alabama? What drew you to go? I mean, I remember there was this, you know, the video, if you remember, that Red had posted on Facebook where she was just waiting for the tornado to come and like basically touch down and wipe them out. It was this crazy thing.
My name is Heather Litz. If you find this and you don't know where to take it, get it to my family in St. Louis, Missouri.
Going there was my first dealings with a tornado.
Yeah.
And so I had always thought that if you saw a tornado coming, you could just grab your stuff and run and outrun the tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's how I always felt you could do. And when I saw her video, God, it was I remember like it was yesterday. Her voice was so calm.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very ominous feeling. And at the time, when I saw the video, I thought, why aren't you running with your dogs? Why aren't you packing up why?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until we went there and we first stopped in the town,
Mm-hmm.
and saw the destruction. And I remember the first thing that came to mind was, I feel like I'm on the lot at Universal Studios.
The devastation is like something out of a movie. Like one of those movies where the nuclear bomb goes off and the people come out and the world is gone.
Yeah.
It was like a disaster movie.
Yeah.
And I think that actually came out of my mouth at one point because, you know, I'm from Los Angeles and I've been to Universal Studios. And I thought, this looks like a movie scene where this is all staged because I'd never seen anything like that.
Well, it's funny because not funny, but sad, but crazy. When we saw the footage come back, because this is a trip I didn't go with you. I was back in LA and doing whatever and working on the show. And we saw the footage come back. Everyone had said, Rosh included, this footage is cinematic.
Yes, it was
cinematic, like
yes.
out of a movie.
Yes, you definitely, and that's how it felt to
Yeah.
me. So, you know, then when we went to Red's place and saw that half her dog population had died.
Yep.
And then when I kind of got a bigger scope of everything, and, you know, realized that you don't know which direction the tornado is going,
Right.
number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I think she had like 50 dogs at the time.
Yep.
She said to me, I couldn't run with 50 dogs.
Yeah.
So what do I do? Just pick out my favorites and leave the rest behind? So, you know, then I got it. I got it. You know, all you can do at that point is just hope it doesn't come your way. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And she got a direct hit.
Yeah. And I mean, in the episode, and you talked about this, I remember you and I had a conversation about this before as well. And because this was obviously post 2 fires, you know, and so you yourself had this sort of moments of like, I was her. I was in her shoes. I was like, I gotta.
Yeah,
you know.
in a way.
The fire that came within 100 feet of our house, of our dogs, and looking at it and saying, oh my God, we can't fight this thing. Dogs are going to die today.
Yeah.
Because now that I've been through almost every natural disaster there is.
Including a tornado here.
Yes, but I've never been through a tsunami. I've never been through, what else have I never been through?
Earthquake, fire.
Done earthquake, done
Flyer,
fire, done
flood,
mudslide, done blizzard,
snowstorm,
hurricane, blizzard,
tornado.
Tornado. So wildfires up the yin yang.
Water spout.
Yeah, it's kind of like a tornado. It's a wet tornado. So even with the wildfires, as violent as they are, and to me, out of all the natural disasters, I feel like tornadoes and wildfires are the most violent. They just
Yes.
feel violent.
Yeah. And random.
well, no. I mean, a wildfire doesn't necessarily have to be random. You can see it coming, but depending on where it
True.
starts.
Yeah.
With a tornado, you only have minutes, sometimes seconds to figure it out.
Right.
So that's where, to me, it was like, wow, what? Now that I know better, it's like, now that we've had tornadoes here, which is so crazy because before we moved to Assumption Parish, they had never had tornadoes here. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy, or at least that's what the locals told me. But, Red was right. What was she supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like just pick one dog, jump in her car, and take off driving down the highway and just try to outrun it, or go in a direction that you don't think it's going to be. It's so easy for people sitting in the comfort of their home to make judgments and assessments and give their advice. But until you've actually been there, done that,
Yeah.
it puts a whole new perspective on things.
It's a little crazy.
It was horrific to hear how her one helper, Tyler,
Oh, yeah.
grabbed his girlfriend and took a dog leash and tied her to a tree.
The tree fell over and everything came this way. And when we lifted up our heads, everything was gone. The tree ended up landing on Tyler and breaking his pelvis. If I wasn't tied to that tree, I'd have been against that wall or pushed over the wall maybe. Wow.
Yeah.
Wrapped it around her waist and she held onto I believe.
Wait, did you show prep?
Huh?
Did you watch that episode? You're just remembering it.
I'm remembering the story.
Wow. Good.
Yeah.
Great.
No. And she held onto a German Shepherd puppy.
Yep.
And then, of course, Tyler was crippled by a tree falling on him
Right.
and paralyzed.
No, well, he broke his. Did he ultimately? Oh, he didn't
He was
recover.
paralyzed.
Right.
No, he was paralyzed. The tree fell on him, and he became paralyzed. I mean, he was, ultimately he ended up in a wheelchair because
Right.
what people don't know is years later they came to visit us in New Orleans.
Well, it was on the show.
Yeah, well, so he's in a wheelchair.
Right. That's true.
Just a horrible, horrible, horrible situation.
Yeah.
Like, and to do when we saw that mass grave of like 25 dogs, that's like, wow.
Well, and that was the end of the show was when they had that service there. You bought them a flagpole, they raised the flag, and then crazy that it happened. When you and Tanya and Mariah did the ceremony with the dead dog that they rescued from Louisiana and brought it back to the ashes, and all the wolves started howling. Again, the crazy moment where they're naming off all the dogs that have passed, and the dogs that have survived start howling.
I want to thank everyone for coming today. And the dogs say something that's appropriate, right? Yeah. Oh my God.
I know.
I mean, like those moments, it's like chilling. That
you can't make that up.
No,
You can't.
and we didn't. It's not added in post. We didn't do it. Like
Right.
we didn't fake it. It's real.
That was one of the most horrific things I've ever been through.
Yeah.
And I got there afterwards.
So Red's story didn't have the best ending, and Red ultimately came back into your life later, especially after you moved here.
Yeah. I started getting people emailing me saying that Red's dog property, she was trying to rebuild it at one point, that some bad things were happening there. Dogs weren't being taken care of properly. Red was not the same person. I heard that they felt they were selling drugs on the property. And for a minute, I was like, whoa. And then afterwards, I said, wait a minute. That woman has been through fucking hell and back.
Right.
The guilt she feels for those dogs dying, for this kid who worked for her, who is now paralyzed. That's a heavy burden to carry.
Well, and also just the violence of the tornado itself and being through that. Like, I mean, you even talked about that, like when, during Hurricane Isaac, right?
I don't know. There's been so many.
No, Hurricane Isaac, when you were stuck up in Maupaw, and you were in your house. It was you that night. You were watching the water rise, and you had Arnold with you, and Arnold's up on the counter. You said you had PTSD from that night because it was just so scary and crazy, and like all the and that wasn't even violent. It was like slow moving water and whatever. So like in this case, you have to think.
Yeah, it's just so, I started to figure out, you know what? She just had, justifiably so.
Life handed her a bag of shit.
Yeah, justifiably so. If she fell into drugs, if she just kind of gave up on life, You know, even though it ended up in a sad situation, I understand why.
And
I understand why.
Didn't she get arrested?
I think I don't remember everything. I remember the police raided the place. I know they went there.
Yeah,
I don't remember all the details now, but I just know that after thinking about it for a while, I said, man, no wonder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody handles a traumatic experience differently, and hers was, what she went through was like tenfold
Right.
horrific.
Right.
So I don't know where she's at. You know, these days it's sad because she was a really good dog trainer.
Mm-hmm.
She was a cool person, just a really cool chick.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about her.
Yeah. And in the grand scheme of things, I mean, this is also another one of those sort of like breadcrumbs, Easter eggs, whatever you want to call it, where it was like another trip to the South that sort of started to show you. And as we were getting closer and closer to New Orleans,
We kept ending up out here.
You kept getting pulled here. You kept getting, work. They needed you here. It was sort of like this weird pull.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. You know, but
yeah.
I hope she's okay.
Right.
You know.
The other thing also that happened this episode, do you remember you and Tanya helping a family that was lost their house and they had the dog Princess and they had reached out to you? They just is a African American family, mother, single mom, couple of boys, and their dog looked like the dog that Red had lost, and they needed help fostering their dog, and Red took the dog in.
Right.
This little boy wanted to know that even though he couldn't physically be with Princess for the time being, at least to know that she was safe. That was some comfort for him. The chances of Princess looking exactly like Mayhem, down to the markings, 1,000,000 to 1.
That another one of those things. Like I remember you bringing the dog to Red, and Red goes, "This is my dog. It looks just like my dog."
Yeah.
It was like these eerie kind of happenstance things that happened.
I think Mayhem, or was it,
her dog was Mayhem. The dog you helped was Princess.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll remember a dog's name any day, but don't give me a human name to remember. Yeah.
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 I mean, what do you remember? I mean, I remember Tanya being like sort of just floored by the whole experience. I mean, like, do you remember her having like her takeaway from the whole thing?
Well, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I'm an adult.
Right.
And it was tough. So I can imagine being someone, of her age. I mean, she wasn't a child, but she was still young.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to endure.
All right. So shifting gears, talking about what was going on back at the ranch. Obviously you weren't there, but at the time when we made this, I think this episode, Mariah was like 17, 18 years old. And like to see her, gather up, it was like probably about 10 of the guys and just sort of coming down on them hard. I mean, is that one of those moments where it's like, that's my girl, she knows her shit.
I just found 9 kennels with the clips off of them. And that is the #1 thing that my mom flips out about. They get loose, they attack another dog. Nobody's gonna wanna go to the hospital. Nobody wants to hold a dead dog in their arm. And if that happened, one of you guys can call my mom and tell her, hey, dog got loose, got in a dog fight, and we have a dead dog. That would not be a fun conversation that I'd wanna have with my mom.
Well, Mariah's always been an old soul. Even when she was a child, she was an old soul. And everybody said that about her. Everyone that met her said that. Like, where did you get this kid from? Like, she's way beyond her years. So it didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
She's always been very confident. At the same time, always been very fair.
Yeah.
She's a good kid. She's a very likable person.
Mm-hmm.
So even, we kind of joke about it, with guys that she dates or guys that she marries. Like she when they break up,
yeah,
they're still her friend.
Well, you say like guys that she married, that she's married more than one.
Oh, yeah, well, she kept the one a secret. Maybe there's more that I don't know about. I don't know.
Oh.
She didn't tell me she got married. She eloped.
Right. Well, right. Marcel, she eloped. Yeah, but that's
but what
true.
I'm saying is that she's such a nice person. Even when she splits up from these guys, they like still want to be her friend.
That is true. They all took it and we're like, okay, great.
She's like, oh, we're still gonna be friends, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing also, I mean, obviously, I think we explained this on the show, but I mean, you also have a very sort of, I mean, when we've talked about this as producers, one of the first rules you learn when you come to work on the show is you open a gate, you close a gate. And, I think you always had this system of double gating that I always found when I first started on the show very interesting, where it was like there was the gate and then there was a section and that gate.
Sallyport gate.
Yeah.
We got that from prison.
What, remind me, like explain it a little, the logic, because I'm explaining it really badly.
It's a Sallyport gate. So it's you go through a gate and you're almost like in a little box or a little cage. And then you have to close that, the gate you walk through originally, you close it before the other gate is opened.
Right.
And that prevents a dog getting loose.
Right. So even if the dog gets out of its kennel, it'll still be in the section.
Right.
And that's ultimately what happened.
Prevents a dog or an inmate.
True. Exactly.
Or it's actually one and the same sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So, I got to hit my time machine moment. What do you got? Anything?
No. No.
I don't know. I mean, I mean, the other thing also that I remember, at least from our side, was you went, and I remember you called and you said, I have to do something. I need to get we need to donate lumber, wood, something, whatever.
Yeah, I felt helpless. And
the one thing I know we were able to do was we contacted, there was a company, Hay Needle. I don't even know if it's still around, but it was sort of like a Wayfair kind of thing or whatever. So, and they donated like 35 crates. We got them donate, like just dog crates or whatever. And that was it. We were able to sort of pull that off as producers and help you with that.
As a start to kind of go back to where you were, these are fold down crates. They're actually donated, a company named hayneedle.com donated them to us to give to you guys.
Oh my God, thank you so
So,
much.
I mean, of course.
By proxy for us.
But then the lumber, and I remember we called the network and we were like, hey, Home Depot, how about it?
Right.
You guys, the big sponsor on Animal Planet. And they were like, yeah, we don't do that. It's like, whatever.
They don't care about those people that just lost 25 dogs and everything they own in a tornado.
Right. We just made a TV show about them, but
yeah,
they're good.
Yeah.
So Pest of the producer. Richard from Nebraska asked, how hard is it for you as a producer to detach yourself from a story like Tuscaloosa Canine Camp? How do you keep your personal emotions separate from telling a good story? It's not a bad question. Thanks, Richard. In this case, separating, I think, was easy. Obviously, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So that
helps.
Yeah, it does help. But what started to happen, obviously, as more and more of us worked on the show, we all started to feel emotional connection to you and the kids and sort of what you guys were going through. We felt like we were going there with you, and but I actually felt like it made the show better.
Look at that one over there, the blondie over there.
Yes.
Dana, our producer, cries at every episode, cries at every time we film. Yeah, but that's cool though, because we knew that she cared.
Well, and that was also the thing.
You've never cried.
Oh, not in front of you. Oh no, I've cried in front of you.
You cried when I yelled at you.
No. When did you yell at me that you made me cry? That hasn't happened.
I made them laugh.
I know. No, I think you and I think I've...
When have you cried?
Interviewing you, I've cried. I've interviewed
Really?
Interviewing you, I've cried. When you cry, I cry. I think there's a little bit of that.
Okay.
So? I mean, Mariah will tell you, there are two things that drive Mariah crazy when I had interviewed her. One is she does what I pageant dad her, as she likes to say. So when I would interview her, I would know what I'd want her to say. And so if she starts talking, I mouth what she's saying right back to her. And she's like, stop moving your mouth. And I'm like, okay, I'm an idiot. I can't control my face. The other thing was she didn't like it when I cry.
Oh.
So I would talk to her. She would make me cry. I would make her cry.
Oh.
So there you go. So yes, I'm a big softie.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Good to know.
No, but so you did not yell at me and make me cry.
I'm sure I have.
You've yelled at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that is, I think, any other final thoughts on this episode in particular?
I think going to Alabama and being a part of that whole thing with the Tuscaloosa tornado, because if I remember right, that tornado was what did they say, 2 miles wide or something?
Yeah.
It was insane. And it went on for miles and miles and miles. It didn't just hit there and it just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was almost like an introduction to, the extreme weather that we can get out here in the South. I mean, I didn't know it then. I didn't know it was going to be moving to Louisiana.
Yeah.
It definitely opens up your eyes, to the power of Mother Nature.
Yeah.
And how pissed off she can be.
The one thing, actually, do you know that we got accused? I mean, at least I got accused. People told me that they accused us of storm chasing because so many natural disasters kept happening on the show. They started accusing us of going after them and finding them. I'm like, yes, please. I'm going to go send Tia someplace where dogs died and do. Okay,
well, all we got to do is stay right here in Southeast Louisiana. We're not going to chase no storm.
No, I know, but it's kind of crazy because that started to.
Yeah,
people would say that, which was awful, but whatever. Anyway, people are cuckoo. All right, so that brings us to the close of another episode of Pitbulls, Parolees, and a Producer. Mm-hmm. This was episode 10 of season 3. This has been a Rabid Reality podcast. Don't forget. Oh, wait, before I forget, I'm going to forget. This episode was produced by Candace Cobett and Amanda Moser. Thank you guys. And Dana, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure. Love the laughing. Thank you. We got to put a mic. We just need to put a mic on Dana.
I'm just watching them laugh behind your back.
That at me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, fine. So don't forget this episode, the proceeds from this episode, as well as all the other shows we produce for Rabid Reality, 100% of the proceeds goes right back to help the dogs of Villalobos. So you join, they eat. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.